Hello and welcome to today's edition of Route 664, The Road to Human Kindness. And you can take part in that road to human kindness. We believe in individual economic security, individual economicism. We want you to become fully aware of what you're capable of doing on your own, where you don't need anybody else's help, but you can learn to take care of yourself in this economic world that we live in. We've passed through the political world. We've passed through the tribal world. We've passed through the religious world. We've now entered into the economic world, and everybody is going to have to be on the same page for themselves, for their own well-being. Our process of using the teaching method of using an academy for teaching methods, we want you to become a part of the academy. This is called the Discovery 664 Academy, and the academy allows you to become more knowledgeable about the economic world, how you can make your way in the economic world. We use resources that tried and true with regard to the social security tools that are available. These are programs that were given to us by the Internal Revenue Service in 1969 that most people don't know about and don't know they exist. But we believe that you should know that they exist because it's important for your own well-being. You can pay less tax and increase your income by using these devices. And that was the bargain that the government wanted you to be aware of. They believe that if you tax something less, you'll get more of it. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to build more charitable wealth in the country. So they created these sections of the tax code that allow you to do that. Under certain circumstances, they're very, very powerful. You have a capital gains tax on a transaction. If you have an estate tax issue, if you have an income tax issue, you can lower those taxes by using these devices. That gives you a leg up on the process, because when you save money in taxes, you're able to invest more and you're able to put more aside to create income for yourself later on. But that income then becomes an endowment when you pass. That's what we want you to become familiar with. It's this process. The government said, if you leave something to charity when you pass, we'll give you lower taxes while you're alive. That bargain has existed for a long time, but very few people know how to use it properly. When you give to charity, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily giving up the asset entirely. You can give to charity and still maintain control over an asset. You can still maintain the income production of the asset. And then when you pass, it goes to charity. And we call it social security because it's like Social Security. Social Security, you put in all your life and you pay and you pay and you pay, and the government's taking all this money, and you reach retirement age in one day and you pass, poof, there goes all that money that you put in. It doesn't come under your control. It's not in your ability to make it go where you want it to go. But with Social Security, it can. We believe this is the replacement for Social Security. I think that's why Congress did this in 1969. But the key is that you individually need to take steps to learn how to do this properly. How do you exist in the economic world? What are the best ways for you to find out? What are the best ways for you to traverse the entrepreneurial world and make yourself successful? So we invite you to check out the Discovery 664 Academy at endowamerica.com, endowamerica.com, and you'll find the Academy there. We'd like you to join the Academy and become a plebe, an AMBI. We call you. It's a combination of an ambassador and an endowment engineer. You're an ambassador for the community. You're an ambassador for yourself. You're an ambassador for chambers of commerce. Your ambassador is helping people do these things because you know how to do them. And we also hope that you'll accelerate yourself to a bigger level, to a greater level, where you can really plan, prosper, and use the power of 664 and help people do the same thing as an endowment engineer. In that capacity, you'll be able to do blueprints for people who have tax problems that need to be resolved. The tax problems are they don't want to pay so much tax. That's a problem. People don't like to pay tax per se. They realize that some tax has to be paid, but you don't have to pay more than you need to. And that's a prescription that was given to us by the Honorable Learned Hand. He said in an appellate court decision, you don't have to pay the most tax that the law extracts. You have the right and privilege to reduce your taxes as much as possible. And that's what we want to teach you how to do. Do it in a way that's totally and 100% accepted and legal, and it's part of the tax code. The only thing is you don't know about it, so you need to learn about it. We'd like you to be able to turn down something you know about rather than not be able to use something you don't know about. So my guest today is someone who also is in the same kind of mix, teaching and making people more successful as entrepreneurs. Shelley Miles joins me now. Shelley, I don't know where you're located. Where are you right now?
Well, first of all, Les, thanks for having me on your show today. I'm
Oh,
out
you're
here
welcome.
in Pasadena, California.
Okay, great, great. You've started this Singleton Foundation.
Actually, I'm the executive director, and the
Okay,
foundation was founded by Will and Carrie Singleton.
okay. And what was their drive to do this? What be the made them be the entrepreneurs behind this charitable venture?
They had two things that they're very, very passionate about and saw an opportunity to help the world be a better place. One is in the area of entrepreneurship, because we believe that anyone can learn the entrepreneurial mindset and get the skills they need to become the CEO of their own lives. And the other side was understanding the financial competence that needs to go with that. So there are two sides of the same coin. And people being able to evaluate and making the right financial decisions to be able to take care of themselves and grow their future.
And they can do that if they are
Right.
schooled.
Right. Education is key. So we focus on learning, not just literacy learning, but learning how to do things and actually we encourage people to take action and become very skilled.
What action do you encourage them to take?
So we believe that you learn the best when you're enjoying yourself.
Okay.
How many of us have improved our golf games, right, by practicing because it's
Absolutely.
fun. And
Yeah.
so we have taken the approach of making financial education engaging and entertaining. And we use the power of entertainment and engagement to get people involved and get them choosing to do this, even for people that are beginners and didn't even know they were supposed to learn this or that it would be valuable to them. And so we reach out through videos. We have Million Stories Media, which is our video program. We have a couple of hundred, more than 200 episodes of content that are real stories, real people telling their money stories and their entrepreneurial journeys. We have Venture Valley, which is a really fun video game where you get to own a business and make all the decisions while competing with your friends. We have Slingshot, which lets you launch your business without a lot of jargon or business school speak, but getting down to the basics and guiding you along the way. And then we have another program called Groove, which is a financial habit building program that takes your behavior and your money personality, which is basically your relationship with money, into account to give you the most relevant learning and learning that will be the most useful to you.
So, Slingshot's one that is intriguing to me. Tell me a little bit about Slingshot.
Well, Slingshot is actually an amazing program. It helps you work through your idea very quickly. With the power of AI, it helps you guide you to the next steps of what you might do as you build a business. It lets you iterate your ideas and think them through and visualize them to make it as real as possible. A lot of people get stuck at the idea phase. They opt out of the process. They think they can't do it. And with a little encouragement, most of us have ideas and problems that we want to solve, and we give them a way to bring that idea to life so that they can share it and get input and build community from others.
So the Slingshot, just get clear on that. Is there a mentoring program in the Slingshot? Is it strictly
It's a
self-directed education?
self-directed app. It's an app that you use on your phone,
Okay.
so it's accessible to everybody. And then it guides you through a series of questions, and they're very easy, simple questions. And as you add in the information, it does research and guides you to more questions to help you figure out your idea.
So it's
So
an AI entrepreneurial Slingshot.
pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, very cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and the AI is not doing the work for you, but it's really helping guide you on your journey. So you're making the decisions, but it might take some of the legwork out of doing the research.
It's very interesting. So the algorithm for the AI I guess that's up to whoever's put that in. I don't know if it came from.
It's a custom system that draws from a lot of very credible sources and really works with your idea. So as your idea takes shape, it guides you along the path and helps you figure out, well, you're at this stage, what might be the next thing that you need to do, or maybe you want to consider looking at these kinds of things. So it's really a guidance system that's very specific to the entrepreneurial journey. And we are really hoping, entrepreneurship is as much about attitude and community and solving problems as anything else. And we want people to have the skills and the power to solve problems and bring solutions, and to be able to have that mindset that they need to be successful in a rapidly changing world.
Everyone says that 9 out of every 10 companies fail. So my mind translated that as I just have to start 10 companies.
This is a show on the economics of entrepreneurship and founders turning their dreams into reality.
When I made this brand, I didn't set out to be like, I'm going to create something that's going to be worth $1 billion. I was more like, I want to create something that's going to make my friends laugh.
This is Ramen Profitable.
Today, I get to hang out with one of the largest animal casting agencies. What's the first thing we need to do?
You have to love animals.
I love the faceplant moments. They make me who I am.
When you fail, quote unquote, you really have to assess.
When I paint myself, it's everything from pop culture to social causes.
You got student loan debt? Don't be mad, bro. You got this.
We relate to brands the same way we relate to people. I love this brand, I hate this brand.
Because those brands have some kind of self-expressive value.
We're giving couples a financial game plan to solve their challenges. Are you a saver, spender?
I am absolutely the saver.
Her fiance doesn't even like to think about money.
We're traveling across the country to find out how young Americans are surviving and in some cases thriving. This is American Paycheck.
The American dream has been defined the freedom to build the life you want. But what does it mean to this generation?
Hello and welcome to George Goes Everywhere, the show where we explore our city and see as much of it as we can, all without spending more than $100.
My name is Dory Howard, and I was Vice President of Production at Paramount. Moments of defeat are a regular occurrence as an entrepreneur because there is no rule book.
I really never found a bat that I loved, so I wanted to take matters in my own hands.
Hi, I'm Maria Gabriela de Faria, and I'm a Venezuelan actress. This was everything I wanted, everything I worked towards. It was here.
Finances can be fun, right?
Absolutely.
And we're back with my guest, Shelley Miles. Shelley is the executive director of Singleton Foundation in Pasadena, California. Is that what you said? Yeah. So I always like talking across the country. It's good. And it's always great to find someone in the common area that we're in, because you're also building individualism. Your entrepreneurialism, your entrepreneurship concept is building individuals. You're not suggesting that you go work for somebody. You're suggesting that you be the starter.
We are suggesting that people take control of their lives and have their own life plan. So whether they decide to start their own company, whether they decide to partner with others on doing it, whether they decide to go to work in another company, bringing those skills, those entrepreneurial skills, is solving the problems that need to be solved, and it's giving power and value to their ideas. So there's a lot of different ways to take your entrepreneurial mindset and have it work for you. And some of that—
It's a human value. You're creating a human value in that individual, whether it's given to somebody, either starting an entrepreneur or given to somebody else in service or whatever. But what you're doing is you're training the person to be more aware of what their skills, of what their value is in essence. What's their highest value? I guess you try to get them to that.
Right. What's their highest value, and what can they accomplish through excellence and doing the work?
And as I talk about, working at your genius in my discussions with my mentees, people I talk to, I want them to get to the point where they can work at something they love to do 24 hours a day and never get tired of it. And that's the ideal situation. You don't want to train yourself to do something you hate.
Absolutely. Where do you love to spend your time?
What kind of success are you having with this foundation? In other words, how do you measure your success?
So we measure it a few different ways. Measuring is really important to us because otherwise we don't know if it's working. So one of the metrics we use is reach. Are we reaching a lot of people? Because not everybody has had access to this education. And so, right now with our million stories, we have almost 250 million views of our content. And then within that, we have over 1 million followers. Within that, we do impact studies, and we look at how have people's attitudes changed from watching our videos. And then through different programs like Slingshot, Venture Valley, and Groove, we measure their actual progress towards achieving goals or mastering different concepts by, for example, how far they get in the game. In Slingshot, we can see what kinds of ideas, how many ideas are created, how often do people come back and grow their ideas and update their ideas. So we even have the beginning, because these are fairly new programs. Slingshots was just introduced as a beta 2 years ago. Okay. And the whole foundation's only been around 7 years. But we also are starting to see people starting businesses and getting funded using these programs.
Okay, so you're creating some domestic products, some gross domestic product.
So we're really excited. Wouldn't it be fabulous if one day it turned out that we could see how many companies that grew to be big, successful companies happened because they started on Slingshot?
No, that would be wonderful. Slingshot, you'd have a Slingshot Hall of Fame. People who have done a really great job. Everybody, I think that, do you think that everybody really wants to be an entrepreneur? Are there people, are there two different
there's multiple different kinds of personalities.
Yeah.
If you challenge people and give them the opportunities and see that they can, most people like solving the problems around them and doing something good in their community. And so there are many different flavors of entrepreneur. There's people that start their own companies. There's people that start divisions within other companies. There's people that fix things and think of a better way to do something, and they all have a lot of value.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're trying to find a better way to do things. I think we're finding a better way for people to navigate their taxes and their income streams, which is one of the things that our objective of teaching is all about. We think that a lot of people get hung up on wealth and they don't really pay attention to income. Wealth is one thing, income is another, and we believe that you should try and strive to build as much income as you can in the most successful way, and some of that has to do with the design plans that we've been teaching, in the sense that the government gave them to us and nobody knows about them, and that's a real shame. So we'd love to partner with you. I think you have partners. I saw on your website that you have people that
we work with a lot of different organizations in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Some organizations we work with because they reach populations that we might not otherwise reach. Some organizations we partner with because we learn things from each other.
Right.
There's all kinds of ways that we work with different organizations.
Yeah, and we do too. We're trying to get engaged with chambers of commerce. We think that the business people need to know what we're teaching. And that's part of why we established the academy that we did. My education, my background, I ended up with a Bachelor of Science in Biology and a minor in chemistry, and I went into the insurance business. So I've learned in my own career that where I thought I was going to be when I started out is not where I ended up, and I can imagine that that's probably true for everybody that I'm talking to right now. So
yeah. I remember hearing somewhere, I don't remember who said this to me, that 80% of the students end up doing something different than what they studied in school.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody really knows what it is that they want to do until they find out what it is out there that can do. So is that part of what you're doing as well? Are you helping people to explore and focus on what it is they really like to do? Is that part of the entrepreneurial dream?
That might come through Slingshot and exploring their own ideas. And one of the things we hope to accomplish with Venture Valley is that everyone can see that it can be fun to run a business, and you can make good decisions, and you can win, and that there's good that comes from that, and that causes income that goes into your personal life and all these good things to inspire people. And that's a lot of Million Stories with the stories we tell, because everybody has a different journey. But oftentimes, if we do it right, you can see that you're not alone, that there's somebody else who's gone down this path.
Right.
Yes. I never thought I'd end up here. I started out as a CPA, and
is that how you started out as a CPA?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be a music major, and quickly changed my mind, and have done all kinds of different things. And that's part of the fun. And everything you do, you get to keep what you learned.
That's true. It's true. The more experience you get, the more things you do, the more expertise you get. And that's a really important part. I really appreciate you taking time this morning with us, Shelley. It's a very important thing for our current culture to be revamped a little bit, with the thought in mind that everybody can be their own entrepreneur, everybody can be their own entrepreneur in different ways. And I certainly appreciate what the Singleton Foundation is doing through these programs. Obviously, we want people to get involved with what you're doing, and what's the best way for them?
They can reach us at singletonfoundation.org. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate the educational effort you're going through. Supporting charities is such an important thing. And it's great to see somebody educating people about a way to do that.
Good. I'm glad you like that. And I think if people are paying too much tax, shame on them. I don't think it's not. We have to resolve a couple of big issues that we have in the country. We have a significant national debt. We have serious inflation. We have issues that are really creating a lot of roadblocks for people, and I'm afraid they're going to get worse in the future. So we have to find a way to short circuit that. One of the ways, of course, is to make everybody independent and be able to make their way in the world without having to be supported by somebody else. That would be ideal. So Singleton Foundation is a way to do that. And Shelley Miles, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Les. It's great to see you.
Yes, great to see you. And I hope that we can work together in the future. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And this is Route 664, the Road to Human Kindness. And you have a lot of different ways in the Endowing America Network Foundation. The network is made up of various components that we have put together to help you educate yourself and to become more knowledgeable about what the benefits are from using charity to create income, lower your taxes, and to do more for the community. And doing more for the community is what Endow America is all about. We want to endow America. We want every community to have free medical services, free adult care services, free child care services, not paid for by the government, but paid for by an endowment that's been created in the community that's sufficient to support the element that we're dealing with. And that's extremely, extremely valuable at this time in our culture. We need to get our smaller communities more functional, be able to make more things happen, and everybody should be working together to help everybody else. And if you're happy, and you know it, clap your hands. But you want to be able to be happy. And in order to be happy, you got to be able to make your way in the world and know that you got your confidence over your own well-being, your own financial well-being. And that's an important element. And everybody, if we can just recognize that we have a value, and my conversation with Shelley has brought that out, everybody has a value. In an economic world, you're able to make your value worth something to somebody else in exchange for something that they're going to give you. If we didn't have any money, if you have skill sets and you have created something that's really valuable, somebody else wants it, you can trade for that. And that's how the world goes around in an economic world. Economic worlds don't have wars. In the future, countries are not going to want to be warring with others if they're economically bound to each other. And that's something else we can change through the education of each of us, our own individual our own individual entrepreneurial spirit can help solve the problems of the world. And that's what we encourage you to do. So check out the Discovery 664 Academy. Also, radio, we have terrific programs on our network radio station at Route 664 Radio. There's an app for that on Apple and Android. And we will be having a library of ebooks that you can tune into. Right now, I think we have four in there. We have
Social Security.
Social Security by Wanda Miles. We have Dead Air by Wanda Miles. We have Kristen Ragason's book on the
End of Scarcity.
Abundance.
Can't wait to see that day.
End of Scarcity. And then I think we also had a couple.
Barbara,
Shaman.
live your legacy now. Boom.
Yeah, boom. You can get all those on, check them out. They'll be on our website. The information will be there. EndowAmerica.com. Go there and check out what we're doing and help save the world. That's what we're talking about. Wanda, thanks a lot for the help this morning. And we'll see you again soon. Next
Adios.
show. Take care.
Once upon a time, in a town quite grand, lived Eleanor with a sharp mind and a steady hand. She had an eye for detail. Numbers were her game, and as she neared life's twilight, she sought lasting fame. One day, fate smiled with a windfall so bright. Eleanor saw a chance to set things right. She found Section 664, a tax code so rare. But for Kratz and Krutz, you're gonna need an engineer, an endowment engineer, savvy and wise. She crafted a plan, a legacy in disguise, a trust for her grand-twins, income to provide. But with a twist, they must serve, and must they, with pride. The twins took the challenge, and they ran with glee, establishing a center, a place for all to see. For animals and seniors, a haven of care, a place where love and kindness would flourish with flair. So remember, dear friends, as you navigate life, Social Security can ease your strife. With a heart full of giving and a mind so keen, you too can create a legacy unseen. Plan, prosper, pass on. That's the power of 664.
Hello, it's that time of year, summertime. I'm Wanda Miles reminding you to visit us at EndowAmerica.com. We've got lots of books for you to take to the pool or barbecue side. Take them wherever you go with your favorite book. As long as you're comfy, it don't matter if it's digital, or a good old-fashioned, I gotta be touching my book. First on tap on our book list, we have worked up quite a bookshelf. Check them out. One of my favorites. Another one of my favorites. And yet another one of my favorites. I have so many favorites. I love them all. If you're looking for a great book to read that, kind of gets you comfortable with money, you should be comfortable with your money. Get reading, get cracking. EndowAmerica.com. Or buy the book at Amazon. You know where they are.